I'm sure, of all the discourse around this horrifyingly awful abomination of a game, Concord. And just like a lot of the games that we've seen in the modern era, it is crammed full of DEI initiatives, all the wonderful diversity and inclusion you could expect from modern gaming, and it didn't amount to anything. Unfortunately for any of the decent developers and people attached to this game, I do not think they're going to have a job come this time next year, because I would guarantee Firewalk Studios is going to get shut down by Sony. Let's face it, this is their first game in 6 years. I believe the game took like 6 years of development, and nobody wants it. But hey, Kotaku's reporting that they've got a no battle pass. So you own Concord, Concord doesn't own you. So that's great. So if you want to fork out the 40 or 50 bucks for a game that nobody wants to play, the good news is you own it. And guess what? They're going to have no battle pass, post-launch new characters, maps and modes, new characters. So you get to have more of these horrifyingly awful, hideous characters that nobody wants to play. Weekly cinematics. Oh, that's good. Because, just like how they want to make Assassin's Creed a dating simulator, most people who play first-person shooters are doing it so they can watch all the cutscenes and not actually play the, fast-paced action and all that good stuff. 12 maps, 6 game modes. See, that's a good thing. When it comes to first-person shooters, multiple maps and game modes can be a very good thing. Hundreds of cosmetic items. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out right there. No solo modes will be a training mode. I don't know how no solo modes is a perk, but whatever, the fact of the matter is the Concord open beta, massively underwhelmed. The closed beta, they shilled out. They gave so many keys for this game. Couldn't get anybody. I think they peaked at 1,300 players, 1,400 players in the closed beta. Open beta didn't hit 2,400. And even Forbes is realizing now nobody wants this game. And even Paul Tassi, who hates gamers, says there's no spinning how poorly Sony's Concord open beta went on Steam. Now again, a lot of us have pointed to the character models, the character designs, the emphasis on story rather than gameplay, the fact that this is a $40 game rather than a free-to-play game when there's so many arena shooter, hero shooter, battle royales available to play. Why would you pay $40 for one of these, especially when it doesn't have appealing, aesthetics? Well, then you get into what caused this game to really fall off the rails. And Smash JT, who I'm going to link his original video or maybe one of his articles about this in the description for the video, has done an in-depth breakdown of what is going on behind the scenes at this studio and why we are seeing the decisions that they've made, in fruition here, the reason behind these hideous characters and the complete lack of awareness when it comes to putting out a product people are actually going to want. So shout out to Smash JT. He's done a lot of work. He's actually had insiders from the studio reach out to him, and his investigation into it is not complete yet. However, we do have a lot of information, and luckily for us, that Park Place has actually broken this down into one article, which is really awesome. So shout out to John Trent over at that Park Place. It says, report, Concord developer demanded coworkers refer to her as professor, pushed extreme politics, and demanded her unvaccinated colleagues be fired. So yeah, I'm not even kidding. This has been the most insane thing to see, but this person right here, Lisa Brown, who goes by Wordle on Twitter, and they've actually locked down their Twitter account because I'm sure all the backlash that they're getting, apparently wanted people to refer to her as professor, came out as non-binary, and would intimidate other employees into referring to her as professor, or else they'd be at risk of losing their employment at the studio. So if you want to know why these studios are putting out this trash, it's not just the consulting agencies, guys. This is what I've been saying for a while. A lot of people are like, don't celebrate these studios getting shut down. Don't celebrate games journalism getting shut down. There's a lot of good people there. Well, unfortunately, a lot of the people making these decisions are not consultants. They're developers. They're programmers. They're people who are directly in charge of how the direction of these games go. So they're not just innocent bystanders anymore. And the craziest part about this person, Lisa Brown, I actually looked into her a little bit, and I'm sure that Smash JT is going to do this as well. But if you go to her Linktree, whatever account here, there is some weird stuff on here, guys. I mean, absolutely bonkers. So a little insight into this non-binary person who wants to be referred to as Professor. Wordle, who, as they go by on social media, has this page on a website called .itch.io, that says, "Hi, my name is Prof, or Professor. I've been a game designer professionally for about 1 billion years, but this is where I keep my personal stuff and game jams. Enjoy." So what this appears to be is some sort of video game project website where you can upload your project games for, you know, people to check out and see for free, which I have no problem with. I think that's a great idea. Most of these look really awful, and one of them caught my eye. Of course, we have meditation on depression, which I'm getting flashbacks to, what's her face from Gamergate with the whole depression simulator game, I think it was called. And then we have this one, How to Kill a Project. I'm not even kidding. This is an actual game that she worked on apparently from 2014 to 2016. And it is titled How to Kill a Project. I mean, holy crap, a little on the nose, right? Then you also have this, basically this blog page where she has a winter theme review, a summer and fall theme review. And the craziest thing about this person, it's not just the fact that she has a blog. Hey, you know, blogs are great. I have a blog/news article link on my website for people who even want to read, you know, anything that I post about my videos and stuff. Nothing wrong with that. That's great. But the way that she types, it's like somebody who is mentally underdeveloped. And let me read a little snippet for you. My winter theme was screenless, although I never felt the wording was quite right. I didn't completely abandon screens, but rather I wanted less screen time overall and for screens to feel like a reward. Fortunately, there was plenty to explore. I did all kinds of arts and crafts, like making things out of my Christmas tree. I even whittled a spoon and made incense from the needles. I discovered that jigsaw puzzles are a perfect replacement disassociation activity for scrolling through TikTok or playing Candy Crush. Oh my god. And this person is involved in game development and she plays Candy Crush. And I'm sorry, I know that there's probably some of you that play Candy Crush out there. Not the kind of game that I would want my developer playing. I'm just going to say it's that the cheesy, crappy, like soccer mom mobile games, like that's not a serious person. And then, of course, my favorite one is she has a book that she wrote and she goes by Professor Brown. No, I'm not shitting you. This is insane. She actually goes by Professor Brown on her book as the author of her book called An Unlikely Flock. Now, this is the best part. Let me try to read the description for you and see if this makes any sense to you guys. Growt, Growt, doesn't remember who they used to be before the pit. They were lucky to fly out, but Growt can't fly away from what is left inside them. When they inadvertently become entangled in the lives of the feather-winged, science-loving Prakata, people who are at war with Growt's kind, Growt finds safety in the most unexpected of places and finds family in the most unexpected of people. But between staying hidden, unraveling the mystery of their former prison, and avoiding an ominous warrior, Growt's biggest challenge comes from within. Escaping the pit is one thing, but escaping its trauma is another thing entirely. This is a person who never moved past some horrifying life event that they went through. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is a person who's severely suffering mentally. And then, of course, Smash GT points out that there's another person at Firewalk Studios who's just, I mean, they're kind of your typical woke left-wing shit lib. I don't fault her for having her own political opinions like hating Trump and hating conservatives. Look, we're all very political online. All of us say our own political opinions. Most of us are not apolitical, so I'm not going to fault her for having a differing political opinion than I do. But the reality is, these are the people who are all working at Firewalk Studios. Meanwhile, you have the Alyssa Mercantes of the world using Concord as an example of how this pushback to DEI and wokeness in gaming was never about anything other than hate, when the reality is that these people are all mentally unhinged. They should probably be in an institution, or at the very least seeking professional help and therapy from a qualified physician. But, you know, I'm going to leave it right there. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I thought Concord was already bad as it was, but knowing what we know now about the people who are working there, this is a whole nother level of insane. So share your thoughts down below. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I will catch you on the next one. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have two channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.